Hey, what's going on, guys? Jason here again, and this video is I believe it's part 6, the final video for this React MovieDB API project series. And so in this video, we'll be building out the the overview of a movie title, or details of a movie title. So here's the finished project so I can show you what we're going to build out. So we have our list of movie components, and if I want to see the details for a movie, I would click on the view details, and I would get a display here with the movie image along with some information. So this will be the overview of the movie and also the date it was released. We also have this go back link that we'll utilize to go back to our list. So that's what we'll be building out today, and so let's get into it. Alright, so we are back on our working app that we have been building out so far. Alright, so that doesn't work. Alright, cool. So we'll go into the app.js file, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add another property to our state. This one will be, let's see, current movie, and we'll set it to null. So this will just be keeping track of if we are actually viewing a movie or viewing the overview of a movie. If we're not, it'll be set to null. If it is, it'll be that particular movie object. All right, and now I'm going to build out a couple methods. The first one I'll build out will be called view movie info. So let's go ahead and do that. So view movie info, and what this method will do is it will basically set our current movie to whatever movie we clicked on. So whenever we click on a particular movie, we'll fire off that view movie info method, and then we'll take that movie ID and then go ahead and get that movie object and then display the overview for that movie. So view movie info, this will take an ID, which will be the ID of the movie. All right, and then what I'll do is I'll do a, let's see, const filtered movie equal to this dot state dot movies dot filter, and then we'll filter out, so we'll go through the movies. So we just want to filter out for the movie that matches the ID that was passed into the method. So we'll do movie.id, and we'll check if it's equal to ID. All right, cool. And let's see, and now what I'm going to do is I want to set another variable. So we'll do this one. This one will be called new current movie, and then we are going to check for if filtered movie, which is an array, if the length is greater than 0, then we want to set that to filtered movie 0, because it's going to be an array of one movie object, so we'll set that to that. And if it's not true, then we'll do null. All right, cool. So all we're doing here is we set another variable called new current movie, and we're basically going to set that equal to so based off what this conditional evaluates to. So we're basically checking if the filtered movie length is greater than 0, meaning that it has a value, it contains a movie object. Then we're going to set that movie object equal to this variable, so it'll be new current movie. But if that filtered movie array is empty, meaning that we didn't find the movie with the ID that was passed in, we'll just set it to null. And then we'll go ahead and do this dot set state. And we'll do current movie. And we'll do filtered movie. There we go. All right. And so the next thing I'm going to do is I'll create another method called close movie info. All right. Oops, can't type today. Cool. All right. So, and all this method will do is this method will fire off whenever we click on that. Let's see if I can show you here. So whenever we click on this, go back, it'll fire off that method. So that way we'll set the current movie to null. So that way we can remove that overview component display. So then we'll do this dot set state. Current movie equal to null. All right, that looks good. Okay, let's see here. And so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to edit my return statement here. So I'll just do this. So then first thing I'm going to do is what I want to do is basically check if in our state, if the current movie is null, then I want to go ahead and display this search area component along with all these movies if the current movie is null. And if it's not null, meaning that there was a movie that is being viewed, then I only want to display this component. And so to do that, what I need to do is do a this dot state dot current movie equal to null. So we have our condition, and then that condition is true. We're gonna add our basically our components that we have here. So let's see. So I'm gonna actually wrap it in a div, and then I'm gonna add that in here. All right. And we're actually gonna add a prop to our movie list component. And so the prop we are going to add will be view movie info. And we'll do this dot view movie info. And so with this view movie info, we will basically pass that method as a prop to the movie list. And then we're going to pass from the movie list that prop method down to the movie component. So that way we can go ahead and click on the movie component and it'll fire off that view movie info method. So this dot view movie info, that looks good. And that looks good. So we'll go ahead and put that in there. All right. Cool. And also, let me make this a little bigger so you guys can see. All right, maybe I'll do it like that. All right, so if this condition is true, then we're going to display all of this. If it's not, we're going to display our movie info component, which we have not created yet. So we'll do movie info. And this one will pass a method called close movie info. And we'll pass in this dot close movie info. All right, cool. Let's remove some of this space. All right, so that looks about right, I think. Cool, so let's save that and let's just see if we don't get any errors. All right, so yeah, movie info not defined. Yep, so we still got to create that. And so in my components folder, I will go ahead and create that movie info component. So movie info.js. And before I do that, let me go ahead and handle this logic for our movie list and movie component. Remember, because we passed down some props that we need to pass through. So on our movie list JS component, we are going to add a prop to, or in our movie list JS component, this renders out individual movie components. So in here on the movie component, I'm going to add a prop called view movie info. So we'll just name it the same thing. And then we'll do props dot view movie info because we passed it as a prop to our movie list component. And we are also going to add another component. This one, we will call it movie ID. And this will be called movie ID. Right. So remember, we want to make use of the movie ID because whenever we fire off our movie info component, we pass it a parameter or argument, which is the ID of the movie. So that's why we're passing another prop to our movie component here called movie ID so that we can make proper use of this method. So I just created movie ID as a prop, and then I added the movie.id. And remember, movie comes from this movie's array that we're mapping through. So we got the movie object, which is this, and then we're just grabbing the ID of that movie. All right, that looks good. So I think we're good there. All right, and now we can go into the movie component. All right, and in the movie component, what we're going to do is on the view details paragraph tag link, I'm going to do an on click. All right, and here we'll pass in a anonymous function that will fire whenever we click on this view details. And what we want to do is call the props dot view movie info. And props dot view movie info, and then in there we're going to pass in our argument, and that'll be the props dot movie ID. All right, I think that should be good. All right, so then now what I'll do is I'll go ahead and so I'll go ahead and create the movie info component, which I did already right here. So now we just gotta build it out. So we want to import React from React. This will be a functional component, movie info, props. All right, cool. Okay, so then we're going to do our return statement, and we'll start off by doing a wrapper div. So we'll do div dot container, and I'm using Emmet, so that's why I'm able to do these shortcuts here. So div dot container, and in there I'll do another div. This one will have a class of row. That looks good. All right, cool. And in under here, I'm going to add an I tag. So this is going to be an icon with that arrow to go back that we saw earlier from the project. So we'll give this a class name equal to FAS fa-arrow-left. And I'm sorry, before we finish this off, what you would need to do is import Font Awesome so you can make use of these icons. And so if I have the website pulled up, so if you go to the Font Awesome website, start, you can go ahead and copy this link tag that they give you. And then we'll just go into our index.html. And I'll just, oops, not there. I'll just insert it there. Oh, sorry, I actually already have it since I was building it out earlier. So yeah, so you probably don't have it. So I'd go ahead and just paste it in there. So just make sure you have it. All right. And now what we need to do, so we can go back here. All right. So we have our Font Awesome icon there. And then I'll go ahead and add a span tag. Add some styles. So we'll do a margin left of 10. And we'll give it the go back text. All right, and also in here, I want to do an on click property because we need to add some functionality whenever we click on that go back arrow. And so what I'm going to pass in here is do props.close movie info. And that's, I believe that's all we need. Also, I'm going to add some styles on this tag as well. So we'll do cursor and we'll do pointer. Add another class of padding 50. Actually, let's do padding top. All right. All right, cool. That looks good. And then next thing I'll do is I'll add the overview and the image part of that component. So in here we'll do another div, call it row. And then from there we will go ahead and basically add another conditional to check if the movie object that we're viewing has a poster path or a thumbnail. So if it doesn't, we're going to add a default image, and if it does already have an image, we'll just go ahead and use that image. So let's go ahead and do that. And I think I already have some logic that's doing that. Well, all right, let me just do the conditional first. So we'll do props current movie dot poster path. So the current movie that we're on, we're going to check the poster path to see if it is equal to null. And if it is, we'll go ahead and add an image tag with a source. And the source, so this is going to be the default image we're going to use. So we'll do that. Oops, over here. So go ahead and copy that with some quotes. There we go. Okay, and go ahead and add an alt here. So we'll just do card image. And then I'm going to actually add some styles here as well. Oops. Let's see. So style, let's see. Let's add a width of, let's see, width we want to do 100%. All right. And then I'm also going to add a height to this image. So we'll do a height and we'll just do 360. All right, cool. All right, that looks good. All right, so if the image poster path is null, we want to go ahead and add that default image. Let me just make sure my syntax is correct. I might need another closing bracket there. Okay. All right. So then I'm just going to copy this image tag and then paste it in here. Or actually, I'm sorry, that I do not need this curly brace there, I don't believe. So then, or maybe I do. Let's see here. Oh, I know what this is referring to. Okay. I gotta close the image tag there. All right, that looks good. And so for this, I'm going to, so I'm basically gonna take the poster path image and just use that that image that they give us from the API. So I think we are already using that somewhere. I think we can copy this. So yeah, we'll go ahead and copy this. And we'll go back to movie info. All right. And now we just need to edit the props here. So we're actually doing props.currentMovie.posterPath. And I think the styles are good. Yeah, so yeah, we'll just use the same styles. So that looks good. All right. So we're done with that part of the layout. Let's see. And now what I'll do is just add another div. We're gonna give it some class names of col.s12.m8. And then I'll do another div inside here. I'll just call this info container. Okay, so in here we're going to add some p tags, and this will be the information of the movie, like the day and the overview. And so in here I will add some curly braces. We're gonna add some JavaScript in here, so we'll do props.currentMovie.title. We'll just copy those down, and then under there we'll do release state. Oops. Date. Well, actually, yeah, we'll just do release date. So we have the date there, and then this last one will be the overview. And then last, we'll export default the movie info. Save that. And then we can't forget here in app.js to import that component. So we'll do movie info from movie info. All right. So let's go back, see if we have any errors in our code. All right. So it doesn't look like we have anything so far. All right, that works. We'll go ahead and click in here. All right, so cannot read poster path of undefined. Let's see if we maybe have a name change here. So I think I know what the issue is. Yep. So yeah. So in movie info, we forgot to add the current movie prop on there. So in here, we'll do current movie, this dot state dot current movie. All right. So let's see if that solved our issue. And there we go. Although we have another issue, we're not seeing the details. All right, guys. So after doing some debugging, I figured out what the issue was. So as you can see, if we click on a movie, this movie has an image, and we're seeing this big image here, and we're not seeing any information. So the issue is, so let's see. All right, so we're in our movie info component, and found out that the issue was actually in our app.js component in our view movie info. So as you can see, we have our view movie info. We pass in the movie ID we want to view. We have this variable that's going to contain an array of the filtered movie object that we want to view. And then we created another variable called new current movie that's basically going to check the filtered movie array and see if it contains an object or a movie object. If it does, we'll set the variable equal to that movie object. If it doesn't, we'll set it equal to null. And so in our set state, we were actually setting current movie to the filtered movie, which is an array. And we actually want to set it to the new current movie. So if we have new current movie, that looks good. Also, we have to have some styling issues here as well that I need to fix. So then for that, I believe it is div, let's see, div dot col dot s 12 dot m4. All right, we'll go ahead and put that in there. All right, that looks good. And we actually want to put this div inside here. Yeah, so inside here. Inside that row. And then, whoops. Okay. That looks good. Let's go ahead and see what we get. Click on there. Sorry. So I actually just go here, and there we go. We get the thumbnail along with some information on the movie. And I actually want to remove this pagination whenever we're viewing this view here. So then for that, what we would need to do is go into the app.js down here where we are doing a conditional check to see if we should show the pagination bar. I'm actually going to add another conditional in here. And for this conditional, we're going to do a, let's see, and whoops. All right. So we're going to see if the total results is greater than 20, and also check if the current movie is equal to null. So if the movie is null, we don't want to show that pagination bar. All right, go here, and it's gone. Then we can go back There we go, that works. And another thing I want to do a quick fix on, the last thing will be this date. So this date format, I want to change it so that it shows the month first along with the day and then the year. So if we go back to the movie list, or I'm sorry, movie info, we have our release date there. And so what I want to do is I'm going to do use some string methods here to kind of reorganize or reformat the release date string. So first thing I'll do is on this release date, I'm going to do a substring method to and then I'll do 5, and I'll go ahead and explain this once I type it all out. So I'll do substring 5, do a dot split. We're going to split it on the dash, and then we're going to concat, and we're going to concat the props dot current movie dot release date dot substring let's see, 0 and 4. All right, and then we're doing a dot join on with the slash. Okay. All right, so that's a lot of method chaining, and I'll go ahead and explain what I'm doing there. So first, let's just make sure it works. Spider-Man, view details, and there we go. That's what we want. All right, so let's go over what we're doing here. So first thing we're doing, so we're grabbing the date, and we're getting the substring of 5. So what that will return, I'll go into my console here, and so let's look at our object here actually. So we've had an object results, and let's grab the date. So we'll grab this date. All right. Cool. So then first thing we're doing is we're doing the substring of substring passing in the number 6, or I'm sorry, number 5. And so what that's going to do is it's going to return the so it's going to go from the beginning of the string all the way up to the 5th index in that string. So it'll be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So it's going to start here and then just return everything to till the end of that string. So what we're going to get is just this 05-01, and then after that we're going to actually do a split on it. So we're going to do a split with the dash there. So wherever there's a dash in our new string, we're going to basically split it into an array. So I can just show you here real quick. So if we do date dot substring 5 dot split with the dash, and all right, as you can see, we get an array. So we get that array, and then what we're going to do after that is we're going to concat on that array. And what concat does is it basically adds an item or element onto a existing array. So on that array that we have, which is 0501, we're going to concat another item, and what we're going to concat is the year, the year of that date. And to do that, we do props.currentMovie.releaseDate again, .substring, and this time in the substring we're going to do 0 for the first argument and then 4 for the second. So what that's going to do is it's going to start at 0. So to start at 0, so it's going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. but for this 4, we're actually going to go up to, but not include the 4th index. So it's actually just going to be 0, 1, 2, and 3. So we're going to grab these 4 characters, so it'll be 2002. And then we are going to do a .join. So right now what we have is, okay, so I'll just do this just so it's clear. So we'll do date2 5.split .concat, and we're doing a, so in this case it'll be date2 dot substring, let's see, 0 and 4, there we go. All right, so now we have an array with 05 in this order, 05, 01, 2002. So now what join is going to do, and join is an array method that will basically take all the elements in an array and basically join them with this, whatever you put in here in between. So we'll go ahead and do this again. We'll do 3. And then we'll do a .join. And we'll do the slash there. And there's our new formatted date. So yeah, so it's pretty handy. I think it's good to know these string methods so we can manipulate some of the data that we get back from APIs. So cool. That looks good. And yeah, so I think that pretty much wraps up this project. So yeah. Yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate you going through the series and following along. If you guys enjoyed watching these videos, or if you enjoyed watching this video in particular as well, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more content like this, like project videos, series, things like that, go ahead and subscribe.